Hey guys, Tim Little here with Tactical Bass, and today I want to talk to you guys about Swimbait storage. You know, last week Matt and I, we sat in my garage and we discussed our different techniques and tactics on finesse tubes. Well, we got a lot of comments and questions about my garage and bait storage. So today I want to do a little video, show you guys some tips, some tricks, some things I've learned along the way for keeping my expensive swim baits swimming straight. The first thing you're going to need is 1/4-inch pegboard. You can get pegboard at Home Depot, Lowe's, any of your major hardware shops. Next thing you're going to need, pegs. I found the best place to get pegs is eBay. You can get 100 6-inch pegboard pegs for about 20 bucks. Now I stick strictly with the 6-inch peg. I don't go with the 8, the 10, or the 12 just because they start sticking off the wall. You start catching your sleeve on them, those type of things. The 6-inch pegs, you can store, 5, 6, 7 packs of Cincos, Robo-Worms, whatever, your plastics, whatever. The next thing you're going to need for soft baits specifically is a pegboard tool organizer. Now what this is a hanger that clicks right into the board and you can hang your swim bait tails off of it. Now for hard baits, the only thing you're going to need is 2/0 or bigger snap swivels. The reason you need 2/0 is you need the eye of the swivel to fit over the tip of the peg. So let's talk about soft swim baits. Well, you can see I throw quite a few different swim baits. I have boot tail swim baits. I have wedge tail swim baits. You can kind of see wedge, boot tail. They're going to hang differently. So, you got your pegboard tool organizer, you got your swim bait. Voila. No more bent tails, no more replacement parts. Here you go, you got your boot tail. Pretty cool, huh? So the one thing you're going to have to pay attention to, two things actually. One is the size of the tail. Specifically the boot tails. Sometimes they're really skinny. You're going to have to pinch the hanger a little in so it makes it a little tighter so the tail doesn't just slip through and fall on the ground. The wedge tails, they're wedged, so they get wider as they go. They hang pretty easily. Another thing you want to think about when you're hanging your baits, a lot of these baits are pretty detailed. They got big dorsal fins, some fins protruding out the side. So keep that in mind when you're hanging your bait. If you want the hook towards the wall or the hook facing out. You take a bait like, 9-inch osprey, it's got a flat back. So you're going to want the back, you're going to want the back hanging up against the wall. You're not going to want the fins, that way you don't bend them accidentally or whatever. Something like the Batesmith Magnum, you're going to want to hang this hook out because you don't want to mess up the dorsal fin, anything that could affect the bait from swimming straight. You guys can see how easy it is to store these baits. Just kind of once you get them set up, you can organize them by type, size, style, what have you. So that's soft swim baits. Let's talk about hard swim baits. So the hard swim baits, you don't need the tool organizer. Like I said, you're going to need the 2/0 snap swivels. This is a Gancraft jointed claw. This one's actually custom painted by Piz Customs. Does amazing work. This is one of my favorite baits on Clear Lake. Anyways, you get done fishing. You come in. You cut your bait off your rod. All you need to do is hang that right there right off the eye of the bait, right on the snap. So earlier I was talking about the 2/0. You need this piece, the eye of the swivel, to fit over the tip of the peg. Make sense? So 2/0 or bigger. You can get a package. Let's see, these are a pack of 12 for like $2, 2/0. So the cool thing about that, you throw it on there, and boom. Now you can organize those by, again, length, style, type, floating, slow sink, whatever. You can also store, I got Cincos over here. I got all sorts of stuff. So hopefully these tips, you can apply them, you know, to your garage or wherever you're storing your baits. You know, these swim baits, they're expensive these days. I got tired of boiling tails, getting out on the water and testing my bait and it wasn't swimming straight. So hopefully you guys can apply this to your fishing. Good luck out there.
The second bait is going to be the spook, or some kind of walking bait. But the spook, you know, spooks have been around forever, it seems like. Almost everybody throws them, but in the fall is definitely when they shine. The bait fish start getting pushed up, especially when they get into the shallow.